Big, shocking news yesterday. G4TV hit with major layoffs less than a year after coming back. Honestly, surprising no one. G4TV came back for some reason earlier this year. And some people were like, okay, this is cool. Some people were like, why? I'm definitely in the group that says, why? Do we really need them? The thing about G4TV is they existed in a time before YouTube, and it was an interesting idea, being a cable channel with nothing but video game stuff. Eventually, it just kind of broke down and stopped being a thing, and that was pretty much it. The rise of the internet YouTuber, gamer, critic kind of picked up and became a thing, honestly making a G4TV irrelevant. But they came back, and very short into their time span of returning, they decided to go on to, well, they didn't decide to, they decided to let one of their employees, Frosk, do a big rant where she decided the most important issue in gaming was sexism in gaming, and decided to attack fans and pretty much say, if you don't like it, don't watch it. And people agreed and tuned out en masse. So bad, in fact, it got so bad, in fact, for G4TV that they had to rebrand their entire format on YouTube, deleting stuff, changing channel names from G4TV to XPlay and stuff like that. They rebranded everything. That didn't help. That didn't help at all. And now we're at the point where G4TV is now laying off most of their staff and looking for ways to cut their budget down. So this was the tweet that shocked the world yesterday. Due to unforeseen circumstances, all G4 streams today have been canceled, but we will return with all of our regular scheduled content tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to go look through it, but if you did go to their YouTube channel and look through their stuff, you would see some pretty awful views. For a channel that has like almost 500,000 subscribers or whatever they have, their views, they're getting like 8,000 views a video. Like, here's an example for it right here. Okay. And they put a lot of stuff out during the day. You would expect a channel like that to get at least 40 to 60,000 a video because of the size. And it's not good for them. And where did they go wrong? Well, of course, with Frosk. That's where it all started. And they also have people like Adam Sessler working for them. You know, I really don't understand why they're keeping him and laying other people off. If they were going to lay anybody off, they should lay off Adam Sessler. Adam Sessler is extremely toxic. He doesn't want fans that don't agree with him politically, by the way, which he says under the G4TV tag. In a way, he represents him. If you put G4TV in your bio, he doesn't here, but he talks about G4TV quite a bit. Everyone knows he works for G4TV. You represent the company. And you go to his timeline, what do you see? You see nothing but TDS and hating on Republicans. This is the same problem with comic book creators. I go to see video game content from this person, and all I see is stuff like this where he's talking about somebody hugging a Lindsey Graham body pillow. So he's mourning here for the people that lost their jobs, but he's a direct reason that a lot of the people lost their jobs because he's toxic. He was clapping away when Frosk did her little rant, who, by the way, is also doubling down on all this shit. Here's a big rant from her where she argues with somebody about Sony and Microsoft. She says that she's all about PC gaming. I agree with her. PC gaming is superior because of all the options that you get. I think that's the way to go. Honestly, it's the future of gaming as well, especially when you look at Microsoft's strategy. All of their games are playable on PC. I wish Sony did the same thing. But she's going off about Sony fanboys, and I kind of agree. Fanboys from both sides are a little annoying sometimes, I'm not going to lie, especially when they get bent out of shape because a Sony game is going to a PC option. I used to kind of think that they should keep their games exclusive to console, but over time, my opinion evolved. I think putting it on PC is the better way to go. You make more money that way. And it's a little bit more consumer friendly. It's not hurting anybody on the console to have the game available on PC at the same time. Because I'd rather play everything on PC because they look better. They run better most of the time if they get a good port. But modders can always fix things. I don't think there's anything wrong with consoles, though, if that's the way you want to roll. I mean, I have consoles. It's fine. But I don't think putting games on PCs is a bad thing. But she's so annoyed about them, and she blames YouTube rage grifters for Sony fanboys, which is bullshit. They have nothing to do. People making YouTube videos have nothing to do. But here she is right here, kind of showing that she's still a little salty about everything that happened with what she said. She sparked a big backlash, and she blames other people for her actions. That's kind of what's been happening with her over the past couple of months, blaming other people for what she caused. And I'm not going to get into a lot of it. She does it herself here. So we're going to skip down. Keep in mind, if you want to read this, like here, I'll go real slow. You can pause and read it for yourself. But I'm going to start down here to where she gets her actual meltdown going. How do you feel the premium PS Plus package is anti-consumer or anything lesser than Game Pass? I'm not trying to have bad faith, just pointing out from the clips and tweets I've seen that there seems to be inherent bias against the actual output of these companies. Game Pass is cheaper than full PS Plus premium tier to get access to the best titles, the old library. Likewise, day one releases for new AAA titles on Game Pass versus buying new titles or waiting the turnover cycle. At least with Game Pass, my subscription gets me new games immediately. Also, my actual take is so lukewarm, but Sony fan club following me around like I'm some sort of demon because they get their news from YouTube grifters making money off of rage boners and fake news is pretty and tiring. I don't know who she's talking about here. I barely ever make videos about Sony. Channels that I watch that covered a lot of the G4 stuff don't make a lot of Sony news. So who is she talking about here? That's what I'm wondering. I waited months to try and get a PS5. Finally got one in the library. Released then was ass. GOWR didn't have a release date. And Returnal and Deathloop were the only exclusives outside Spider-Man. The PS Plus hadn't been reworked or announced. That was literally the clip timeline. It's a comedy show, and angry neckbeards used me as face to send thousands of F-heads at me because I told them to stop telling me how much they like to masturbate to Morgan Webb. And here we are, half a year later, still dealing with this shit, so forgive me, I'm tired of bullshit. I don't even own an Xbox, but Sony fans have created me as their war against the console wars. All corporations are bad. F them both for how they have screwed over gaming and devs, but Sony fanboys need to get a grip and stop harassing people. Now, I actually agree with this. Like, both Sony and Xbox suck. I think that's right. I think they both suck. But how does this like even fit into this conversation? Like, she doesn't understand how she offended a lot of people. Like, you pretty much called gamers problematic and told people if they don't like what you have to say to F off. That does bother people, and that kind of like puts a target on them. You insulted a lot of people. And the reason that people are so interested in it, and I didn't say, I should have said this before, don't go bother this person. Leave these people alone. But the reason that G4TV is in such bad shape is because of what you said. And she still has G4TV in the title, even though, by the way, they deleted that video they did, or at least privated it, where she went on that rant, and they deleted their tweet supporting it. So that's kind of interesting. It's like almost like G4TV recognizes that was a problem of what she did, but it looks like they're keeping her on, which is absolutely hilarious. So people that didn't do anything wrong lost their jobs, but her and Adam Sessler, two of the biggest contributors to the downfall of G4TV, get to remain. This channel is done. G4TV is done. They're never going to recover. And I bet you by halfway point of next year, they close up shop on it and call it a failure. It didn't have to be a failure, by the way. It probably could have kept going and pulled in decent revenue. I don't think it would ever be on the level it was, but they could have kept going. But keeping some of these people around was a mistake. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed, hit that notification bell. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.